smoky crispy bacon, spicy chilies, creamy filling, jalapeno poppers are the perfect barbecue side dish. Hi guys, welcome back to Dadlicious Eats, and today we're going to be getting the barbecue out. I want to share with you my favorite barbecue side dish, that's jalapeno poppers. Something not super common in the UK, but super delicious, especially when you pop them in the barbecue, smoke them for 45-50 minutes or so, and they're devilishly Moorish. It would really help me out if you could like this video, helps me share it with everyone on YouTube. I really want to show that it doesn't cost a lot of money to make tasty, delicious food. Right, let's get cooking. So this looks like quite a few ingredients, but don't worry, you can do this with the very basics. I'm just looking to jazz it up a little bit. So start off with our chilies. So we've got jalapenos here. They can be green or they can be red. Now I think these are a good size because they're generally bite size. If you want to go a little bit bigger, you can go for poblano chilies, or you can use various other types. Just use whatever you can get hold of, to be honest. We're going to use some soft cheese, some cream cheese for the filling. I'm also going to grate in some leftover cheddar cheese that I've got just to give a little bit of a flavor contrast. We're going to wrap those in bacon. I'm using streaky bacon here. And then we're going to apply a rub or some seasoning to it. Now, sometimes I'll use something like this that's a pre-made rub. We've got salt, sugar, spices inside it, but they tend to be a little bit expensive. And to be honest, something this size, you might not get through for a long time. So I'm going to show you just a basic rub that I might be using. And I've got about a tablespoon of brown sugar. That's light brown sugar. Use dark brown sugar. Use regular sugar if you want. We've got about a teaspoon and a half of salt. You want to make sure it's finely milled rather than, I guess, your rock salt. We've got a little bit of garlic granules. We've got some onion granules. We've got a little bit of pepper, and we've got some paprika. The joy with these seasoning blends is you can just build out your own seasoning depending on your taste. So if you want to tweak it a little bit differently, go for it. If you want to add more garlic, more onion, make it sweeter, less sweeter, more salty, put some heat in it, it's completely up to you. So we're not going to use this today just because I wanted to show you that you can just make these yourselves. This will probably make a little bit too much for what we've got, but you can pop it in a small jam jar and keep it for next time. So the key is prep. So we're going to start to get everything prepped together before we start actually constructing everything. So we've got our soft cheese here. So I think we've got 10 peppers. So that's going to make about 20 jalapeno poppers. So probably want most of this. In fact, let's just pop it all in. And then we're just going to add in our grated cheese. So not something you have to do, but I just think it adds a little bit more flavor inside. Just give that a good mix around. If you want to add maybe some chives or some spring onion, I think that's a good addition as well. But it's also equally good just plain cream cheese. So we'll pop that aside and let's prepare the chilies. So for the chilies, we're just going to take one out, cut it in half, and then what we'll do is we just want to clean out most of the inside. So you've got there a nice, fairly clean chili. Leave the seeds in if you want, but I tend to take them out just because sometimes, especially when you buy the chilies and you're not necessarily sure of the heat that some of these chilies might have, sometimes I've had them blow people's heads off pretty much. So we're just going to do that for all of the chilies. In fact, let's cut all of these up first. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Really appreciate you coming back for yet another video. If you're not a subscriber, you've got no excuse now. Why not click that button? I've got loads of videos I want to share with you, and I really want to get your feedback on all of them. And my mission is just making sure that I can get across the message that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money or take a lot of time to make some great recipes. So the joy of this is that they don't take long to prepare. And if you've got people coming over for a barbecue or whatever, it doesn't take you too long to sort out, and you can just pop them away, put them back in the fridge when you've made them, and then ready to cook later. So jalapeno poppers are super difficult to get hold of in the UK. You can buy them, some of them frozen, the deep fried ones, but they're quite rare, they're not very good. And it's 30 years since I first discovered them when I was living in Florida for a little while. There was this cool little Cuban canteen or kitchen that used to serve them as a side dish, and gotta say, they blew my mind when I first had them. And I didn't see them in the UK at least for another 10 years after that. Obviously these aren't the deep fried ones, but I think these are even better, especially combined with the smoke from the barbecue. So that is our bunch of chilies. We are good to start stuffing. So for this, I like to take a knife. It's a little bit easier to use than a spoon. We just take out our cream cheese, and all we do there is we fill the gap. You don't have to be neat. There are no prizes whatsoever for being neat with this. It's pretty quick. Look at this. You can just knock them out like so. Now to cook these, we're going to just pop these on our Weber grill. We're going to smoke them probably for about 20 to 25 minutes or so until, I mean, you'll know when they're done because the pepper goes nice and soft and the bacon looks like it's ready to eat and it's nice and cooked. If you don't want to barbecue them, you could always just pop them into the oven. I'd pop them into the oven for probably 15 to 20 minutes until the bacon is done. You obviously don't get that same smoky flavor as you might get from a charcoal barbecue, but still, they're going to taste wonderful. Right, so the time has come to wrap these bad boys. Let's make some space for ourselves. Take out some bacon. So we've got about half a pound of bacon here. Well, this plus some other stuff. And then we're just going to simply take our bacon and we're going to wrap the jalapeno just like that. I'm going to pop that into a tray. Just pick one out. You know, don't worry that you've got the stalks or stems or whatever they're called still on here, because actually that's the perfect way to eat them. You can just hold them by the stem and then discard it once you've bitten into it. Now if I'm doing these for a barbecue, typically I'll probably make about 50 of these because they are one of the first things that get eaten. So our final step before we pop these on is just our seasoning. So we're just going to give the seasoning that we've made a good mix around. Make sure we've got a fairly even distribution. And then all we're going to do is we're going to pop this on the top, like so. Just give it a good dusting. And these are ready to go onto the barbecue or in the oven. So on go our jalapenos. We're going to leave them So we've taken these off the barbecue now. They've cooled down for a couple of minutes. Took about 50 minutes in the end for these to cook. Let's have a look. So we've got delicious smoky bacon wrapped around the chili pepper. Inside, remember, we've got cream cheese, we've got cheddar cheese, and then we've got this dusting, this rub that we've made ourselves. Right, let's give these a try. Look at that. Doesn't get better than that. Wow. We've got crispiness of the bacon. Then we break into the pepper. And that's delicious. There's a hint of sweetness there. Then you've got the cheesy filling. So creamy, so cheesy. And all topped off with the rub. Man, super delicious. You've got to try these, guys. Do them in the barbecue, fine. Do them in the oven if you don't have access to the barbecue at the moment. I mean, it's winter, so whichever way you do it, I guarantee you, you're in for an absolute treat. Really appreciate you making it all the way to the end of this video. Hope this has inspired you a little bit to get out there and cook. This whole dish cost £5, no more than that. So I'll be back with more killer recipes soon. Till then, take care, guys.